Sometimes the greatest heroes are not depicted in daily news articles or in biographies. Instead, the greatest heroes often feel rewarded enough in their acts of kindness, of sincerity, of thoughtfulness, of selflessness. I would like to take a moment and pay tribute to one of these heroes today, my grandfather, James Hugenberg. My grandpa was a man that strove for greatness in not possessions, but in character. What made my grandfather so special was his undeniable dedication to improving the lives of those around him. His unshakable compassion for all beings at all times continues to inspire me to this day. And if we were to reflect just a fraction of the compassion that my grandfather had, there is no telling how profoundly the world could change for the better. My grandfather came from humble beginnings in Cincinnati, Ohio. From a young age, his generous aura and amiability drew in his fellow classmates. This pure kindness did not falter as he aged and matured. Rather, his life revolved around extending understanding and kindness to every single person he encountered. As he aged, his genuine compassion even guided him to pursue a career as a veterinarian and attend Ohio State University. Unlike most, he recognized that the world did not revolve around him or a large salary. With such ideals at the core of his life, he dedicated himself to pursue a career as a veterinarian and eventually owned his own practice to support animals in dire need of his help. In fact, my grandfather cared so deeply for these creatures that he often exceeded the role of a veterinarian. As my father has frequently told me, my grandfather used to bring home animals in serious conditions to their own home to look after overnight. He did so in order to ensure that they had the 24/7 care they needed and felt at ease and in comfort. While most veterinarians may separate their duties from their family life, my grandfather did not believe in ending acts of kindness as a veterinarian at the end of a 9-to-5 workday. My grandfather's desire to care for others, even other species, was so strong that he placed their well-being above his own sleep, his own leisure, his own relaxation. And for that reason, all should look up to him as a source of inspiration as to how to treat others in the world. Though certainly evident in his work as a veterinarian, this kindness never ceased to be expressed by my grandfather towards family and friends. One prime example of his considerate and loving self was one I experienced firsthand. My family and I took a trip to Disney World when I was younger. And this involved lots of walking around parks, meaning my little 4-year-old legs just could not keep up. My whole family was absolutely exhausted. Despite my grandfather's walking difficulties, especially after a super strenuous day of walking, my grandfather noticed my tiredness and placed me on his shoulders for the rest of the night. Even though it is just such a simple little memory, it is just a demonstration of the attitude that my grandfather held every single day. He cared so deeply for others that he was willing to place his stresses and worries aside and help the needs of others, showing how pure intentions and thoughtfulness can create meaningful and lasting impacts. As I close, I ask you to reflect on the drastic need for individuals with kind hearts in a world filled with pessimism, darkness, and hostility. My grandfather is one that exemplifies and surpasses such traits and heroism. Though he may have passed away, his generosity and legacy of kindness will not soon leave this earth. For every single person that knew him experienced such qualities firsthand and has been changed. The sincerity and selflessness he expressed for the improvement of others is something yearned for in the world today. If we just reflect a little bit of the compassion that my grandfather held, we will change the world in innumerable but positive ways. We will understand what it means to truly be a hero, just like my grandfather, James Hugenberg.